The Emancipation Proclamation was an executive order issued in 1863 by President Abraham Lincoln. This declared that all persons held as slaves shall be free. Free, however, did not mean equal. This freedom would still come at a price and with limitations. Elizabeth Bessie Coleman was born in Atlanta, Texas in 1892, when segregation was still the way of life in the South. She grew up with Jim Crow laws, the Ku Klux Klan, and lynchings of African American men were not uncommon. Blacks were considered mentally inferior and only capable of working in the cotton fields, as the Coleman family did, or in a factory. In 1903, the Wright brothers marked history with the first flight, which would be a pivotal moment in the young 11-year-old's life. Being African American and a woman kept Bessie from her dream of becoming a pilot in the United States. Susan B. Anthony had been working hard and making great efforts towards campaigning for gender equality. Her determination paid off in 1920 when women's right to vote became the 19th Amendment. In later years, Eleanor Roosevelt would help to push for racial equality. Double stigma of Bessie's race and gender forced her to travel to France in 1920 to make her dream a reality. She attended an aviation school where she was the only non-white student. Just 7 months later, on June 15, 1921, Bessie became the first African American woman to obtain an aviation pilot's license and an international aviation's pilot license. Bessie trained for months overseas to polish her skills and become a daredevil stunt flyer. As a performer, she quickly gained the names Queen Bess and Brave Bessie. In 1922, Bessie performed in Long Island for the first time in front of an American crowd. After landing, she was greeted with flowers by Hubert Fauntleroy Julian. Hubert was born in Trinidad just 5 years after Bessie. In 1931, he became the first black man to fly coast to coast over the American continent. Inspired, Dr. Mae Jemison became the first black female astronaut in space. On her first mission, Dr. Jemison took a picture with Queen Bess with her. Bessie used her position of fame to encourage other African Americans to fly, saying, quote, "I thought it was my duty to risk my life, to learn aviating, and to encourage men and women of the race." She also made it a point to refuse to perform at any location that would not allow African Americans in their audience. In her short life, Brave Bessie taught us that the air is the only place free of prejudice.